Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Andrew. Welcome back to another episode of MLS Mondays, the segment where we talk about everything MLS, everything US soccer, every week. I'm sorry if I'm a bit off today. I was out with my friends, and then I came home and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna record. But I didn't drive, so don't worry, guys. Remember, if you drink anything, you best not be fucking driving. Drunk drivers are shit. Anyway, that's why I'm a little crazy today, and I feel like I should maybe drink a little, like one or two beers before I record them, because I feel relaxed. I feel like you guys really see the real me. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm not following a script the whole damn time. Let's just talk, all right? Let's just talk about the U.S. soccer presidency, because that's what this MLS Mondays topic is about. So, oh yeah, you guys see my camel hat? It's not real. Well, it is camel, but I do live in PA, but I'm not a hunter. Okay, I like the camel hat. The only thing I hunt is the ladies. It's for you ladies out there. I'm single, just letting you guys know. Okay, for real. So Neil Gulati is not running for the next presidential election for U.S. soccer. Not presidential for the whole country. Just don't mistake me, because last election we had in this country was, crazy. But we're talking about the presidential U.S. soccer election. And so Neil Gulati is out. He's not gonna run, and I think that really threw this whole race wide. It just totally made everything go crazy. Everything's outdoor. Now people are like, who the hell is gonna do it? Who the hell is gonna win this election? Because a lot of experts, and also I thought that if Neil Gulati did run again, he was just gonna win unanimously. He's got the money, he's got the experience, he's got the resources, that he knows the people already in the whoever gonna vote. He knows all the people. He's close with them. I was like, he's gonna win. I hope he doesn't run, but he's gonna win if he does. But he's not. So in this video, let's talk about everyone who is going up against him. Not against him. Come on, Drew. All the people who are going to take his spot. There's about, I think, 6 or there's a few. There's a lot of people. Some people I haven't heard of, and some people that I do know. And at the end of this video, I'll give you guys my thoughts on who I think should win this and who I want to win it. So without further ado, guys, let's get to it. Alright, so first on the list, we've got here Carlos Cordero, who right now is the vice president of U.S. Soccer Federation. And he also has been with the federation since 2007 and became the treasurer since 2008, and he's also on the budget committee, so he's very, very well versed in the politics and business side of the federation. So he knows the ins and out of the business and all the stuff of the federation, because he's been Gulati's right hand man. But according to ESPN FC, where I'm getting all my information from, where I'm reading from, because I know if you guys don't want to read this whole article that ESPN has posted, I'll read it for you. Well, I'll give you it in a nutshell. That's where I'm getting my information. So, I'm sorry, I'm going off topic here. So, according to them, he has had a falling out with Neil Gulati. So, Neil Gulati is not going to back him up for this election. Also, Carlos Cordero is one of the people who really are going to benefit from Neil Gulati not running again, because since he's been the vice president, he knows the ins and outs. A lot of people are going to look to him and be like, well, this guy already knows what Neil Gulati was doing, or he knows what's going on inside the federation, so why not just pick him? So that is going to be a big plus for him. But then again, if people didn't like what Neil Gulati was doing, at least towards the end and towards the last couple of years, then they're not going to want to vote for someone who has been helping Gulati along the way and been there the whole time and not opposing anything Gulati says for the most part. But that's the only downside. Let's move on to the next guy, who is Eric Winalda. So Eric Winalda, a famous U.S. men's national team player, one of the greats, if I do say so myself. Maybe not the greatest ever, but he's definitely up there in terms of being popular and well known. You guys might know him from talking about Champions League soccer on Fox Sports. That's where I saw him the most. If you guys saw him somewhere else, then good for you guys. So he now is throwing his boots in the race for U.S. soccer presidency. He is a big advocate for promotion and relegation in the MLS, but he has stated that right now promotion and relegation does not fit with the current system the MLS is in. So he's gonna he might address that and might try to fix it, and then in how many, 10 years probably, if he's still in charge of the U.S. Soccer Federation, he might try to adapt a promotion relegation system in the MLS if he sees that the MLS could adapt it. Another thing he wants to change that I think is a good idea is he wants to switch the calendar for the MLS to a fall spring calendar, like how Europe's leagues play. He also wants media right deals for all divisions, like MLS, USL, NASL, and I think that's a good idea. I mean, get everybody involved, because then once everybody's involved and like every team is getting like coverage and support and all this stuff, then maybe people are going to want to take a bigger interest in soccer, and then eventually in 10 years or something, the MLS could adapt a promotion relegation, since people already know all the teams who are going to be involved. So that's good for Eric Ronaldo. But then again, people are still skeptical about the business side of this whole presidential thing, because they don't think he has the experience to do he doesn't have what it takes for the business side of it. So that is also dampening on his chances. But according to ESPN FC, he's got a 23% chance of winning, and like everyone here has in the 20s or lower. No one has I don't think higher than 25 or something. The last guy, Carlos Cordero, had a 25%. He's the highest above Eric Ronaldo. Eric Ronaldo is 23. So after that, let's go on to the next candidate, which is Kathy Carter. Alright, so Kathy Carter is currently the president of US Soccer United Marketing, so she knows how to market this team already. I think she's done a pretty good job. I think the US men's national team is already marketed good, unless I'm totally messing this up when she doesn't market that, do it like that. That would be embarrassing. But this article doesn't really say much about what she wants to change and what her views are, but I did see a video recently about Kathy Carter. She was interviewed, I think, on ESPN FC or something like that. I'll leave a link down below if I can find the video again in the info section of the video. And she was saying some good topics I think I liked about her. She was saying that the president should be somebody who has experience in both sides, both aspects of this soccer federation. Like, she has played, maybe not in the pro level, but she has played in the college level, and that's also an aspect where the U.S. soccer in this country lacks, is the college. Because if you just play in college, you're just playing college. That's it. You don't get. I guess Jordan Morris is an exception because he did get called up from Stanford, but she does have experience in playing, even if it's not pro, and she believes that having experience in both pro, like playing soccer, and the business side is a key aspect, and she is in the business side, and she has played, so she kind of has an idea of what she wants to change. And the video also stated that she would like to target all aspects of soccer in this country, from the national team to the MLS to the lower leagues to young kids training, young kids wanting to play soccer, to the referees, every aspect of soccer, everything involved in soccer. That's what she wants to target, and I think that's a good idea. Some people I'm reading, they have some pretty good ideas. Kathy Carter definitely has good ideas, and if I'll talk to you guys about my votes after we get through everybody. So let's move on to the next candidate, who is the businessman, Steve Gans. So Steve Gans, I'll call him Steve. So Steve has a really strong business background. He's been he's a lawyer, first of all. It's fucking crazy. He's a lawyer, and then he's also advised youth and Premier League clubs on various aspects of their business, which is great. So he's worked with big Premier League clubs. Well, any Premier League team is big compared to an MLS team. Watford is a bigger and more supported team than Philadelphia Union. But he's been working with teams so he's got the experience of working with teams like this, at least on the business side. And ESPN, according to ESPN, his biggest challenge is convincing us, people, that he's a soccer guy, not just a business guy. He's a soccer guy. He knows what he wants to do with the sport, and here is what he wants to do. What I like is he wants to address the pay-to-play issue in youth soccer. That is a huge issue, man. I hate that. I hate pay-to-play. I see a lot of tweets about it. I see a lot of comments in other people's videos and around the web. Pay-to-play has got to go, man. That's got to go. That's terrible. So he wants to address that. He also wants to make youth soccer landscape less fractured, whatever that means. If you guys know what that means, let me know down below. Steve has seen all these problems up close because he's a father of 2 developmental academy players, so he sees the pay-to-play aspect. He sees the brokenness of the youth soccer system in America. He sees it, so obviously he knows what he wants to change about it. Since his kids are playing in it, he's probably talking to parents, and he sees the whole thing. So I think he has a strong view on that, and I like the view he has on wanting to change the pay-to-play issue. So 2 more things on Steve real quick before we end his segment. He also wants to fix things, improve stuff with the U.S. women's national team, which I think is a great idea because they are a better team than the men's national team. I mean, they've won way more, and they're highly accredited compared to the U.S. men's national team, who haven't really won much in comparison to the women's. But I think that's a good idea, Steve. You keep looking out for our ladies, Steve, because they're fucking killing it. Also, he also says that the business side of the federation wouldn't change much if he was president, because he believes there's a lot of good people in the federation who are doing good and who are working to improve it. So he really wouldn't touch that. He really wants to touch the sporting aspect of it, which is I guess I can see that. But let's move on to our next candidate, who is Kyle Martino. Okay, so Kyle Martino is a former U.S. men's national team player. He may not be the player Eric Ronaldo was, or have the same, at least this strong of a player background as Eric Ronaldo, but he is still a former player, so he knows the in and outs of playing for the U.S. Soccer Federation. And he has stated he is not a person for person in this race, because he thinks not just one person can save U.S. soccer, and that's a good point. If whatever president is elected, doesn't matter who it is, they can't do it alone. It has to be up to everybody, from the whole board, the whole federation, the whole MLS, everyone involved in soccer is responsible for the change of soccer and this federation in America, not just one person. So Kyle Martino, that's a good view, because not just one person can do it. So let's talk about the things that he wants to change about this federation. So the first, he stated that he wants to make the U.S. Soccer Federation more transparent, while also making the president's position a paid position, which that sounds a little greedy, but I get it. I mean, like, you're the president of the whole soccer federation, you're not getting paid. That is kind of, wow, that's kind of sucky, because you got a lot of stress on you and you're not getting paid for it for no reason. So I guess that I take that back. It's not greedy. The president deserves to be paid, because they're dealing with a lot of shit right now, or at least they're gonna be dealing with a lot of shit. Martino also wants to emphasize equality in soccer in America, which includes making the game more accessible for kids from economically disadvantaged backgrounds, and also wants to have better treatment for the women's national team, which is also good. Anyone fighting for the women's national team is good. I hope all these people are fighting for that, because that's a big plus for a lot of voters, I think. At least for me. I mean, I'm not voting, but people who are voting, that they should be thinking of that too, because it's not just the men's who are playing, it's also the women. The last thing he wants to target is he wants to set up training facilities around the country that would be for free for players, like free training facilities. How awesome would that be? You can just go and get some training. I want to get better at the ball. I mean, maybe not if you're like 30 years old or like old that you can't be part of the U.S. national team, but still, like, that's fucking awesome. I wish I had that as a kid. I wish there was just free training, just free help. That would be awesome. I think that's a really good idea, Kyle Martino. He also wants to create an advisory board for selecting the national team coaches and technical directors. I thought there was already a board for that. I didn't know it was just like some dude being like, okay, so Bob Bradley didn't work out. How about we just, I don't know, this guy seems like pretty good. He's got some good honors. How about Jurgen Klinsmann? Or how about, I don't know, fucking Bruce Arena, because that's a good idea, right? All right, so Martino seems like a pretty good dude, pretty good views. He is almost like Ronaldo, but not Ronaldo. He doesn't have the strong playing background as Ronaldo, and which that could be his downside. If the people are looking for someone who has a really strong and really good player background, then Kyle Martino would lose out to Eric Ronaldo, since Eric Ronaldo is a better known U.S. men's national team soccer player than Martino, unfortunately. And according to ESPN, his percentage of winning is at a whopping 13%. But then again, guys, nobody's at 100%. No one's above a 25%, so they're all kind of just split because there's just so many candidates running for this. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is Mike Winograd. All right, so Mike Winograd is a corporate attorney who has played professionally in Israel, and he also has coached youth and college levels, which gives him some good experience in the coaching aspect of the game, and maybe even and the playing aspect of the game as well. So being an attorney, he has leaned towards the fact that he has really good experience in terms of legal negotiations, that he could build the brand of U.S. soccer. So Mike Winograd has stated he would love to see promotion and relegation in MLS, but he kind of shied away from it because he said he would implement. Well, he shied away at the fact that he would implement it right away or try to implement it, at full blast. He was interested more in an incremental approach, like I guess of a different approach to promotion and relegation, which I don't know what that means. I'd have to see what his idea is to really give my point of view on it. But I guess we'll just have to wait to see if he does get it. I mean, his percentage of winning is at whopping 2% chance of winning. So does it really matter what he wants to say? Because ESPN has said that he doesn't really have a chance, and I believe it because he's got lots of competition ahead of him, like Carter, Wijnaldum, and who was the other dude? Who was the first guy? Carlos. That was the first guy. Those three are the top picks, I think. But Winograd does have good ideas. He is a big supporter of training compensation and salary payments, and he feels that youth funding for the youth development is a big piece of the puzzle for fixing the U.S. soccer, just U.S. soccer in general. Next up, we got Paul Caligiuri. I hope I said that right, guys. If I did, I'm terribly sorry. Paul, if you're watching, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. So Paul is a former soccer player. He also has had experience coaching at the college level. There's a bunch of college levels, college teams listed here. I'm not going to go through them, but he also has served on the U.S. Soccer Federation Athletes Council and on the board of a U.S. Soccer Federation Board of Directors. That's some high honors there, man. That's like, you sound efficient. Like, you sound official with that. Not efficient, I meant official. His goal 2019 and 2022 goals are for the women's national team to defend its World Cup title in 2019 and for the men to win the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. That's a fucking big stretch. But I guess if he were to be elected, that's what he'd be working on. He wants to work on the the women's national team doesn't need much help in terms of quality and experience and winning, because they know how to win. But like the business and back side of the women's national team is what needs to help. So he would want to help that as well, he has stated. And also, winning the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar would be a big task. If he accomplished that, he'd be like the best president the U.S. Soccer Federation ever had. People be like, wow, he did it, he accomplished his goal. I don't know what I'm saying with this guy, but there isn't much details on this dude, but he is in favor of promotion relegation and said two other areas of emphasis would be culture and values, which is good. I mean, America does have culture in terms of, they have big sports culture, I think. I mean, you can't shy away the fact that we've got American football, we've got hockey, we've got basketball, we've got baseball. That's basically that's all the main things in soccer, But there's so much sports culture here that I guess we want some more of that intense sports culture to move and shift to soccer, which would be great. So last thing on Paul real quick is he also has stated that in terms of the business side of the U.S. Soccer Federation, he emphasized that he would love to have a qualified CEO be in charge of all the business aspects, not just one person day in and day out, just like a qualified CEO who would be in charge of all of it. I think it's a good idea. I mean, give someone to help him out, especially for the business side, because business is tricky business in U.S. men's soccer, or just U.S. soccer in general. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just a little, rated. Okay, last person. Let's go on to Paul Lapointe. All right, so Paul Lapointe. Again, if I messed up that name, I'm terribly sorry, Paul. If you're watching, Paul, I'm sorry. All right, so Paul has had long history in playing indoor and outdoor leagues. At youth and amateur levels. I'm gonna add that. He is currently the Northeast Conference manager of the amateur UPSL. So in terms of youth soccer, Paul would like a more clearly defined path to the national team, and he believes the development academy doesn't reach enough kids. I think that's true. Paul. If you're watching this, Paul, it's a good idea. It doesn't reach enough kids, and if it does, if it does reach a kid, I feel like it doesn't impact them the way it should. Like, oh wow, I should be a soccer star, because soccer is there's just so many problems. Like, I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm tired, but that's true, Paul. it doesn't reach a lot of kids, and if it does, it really doesn't. I don't think it affects them as much as we think it should. At least and the way it does in other countries. In terms of the women's game, Paul believes that having a women's version of the U.S. Open Cup would be a way to like grow the market side of the sport. And I think that's a good idea. I never heard of that. That is a good idea. I mean, if you guys don't like it, you don't have to watch it, but like a lot of people out there would love it. I would watch it. That'd be pretty cool. Good idea, Paul. So that's it, guys. That's the whole list. Oh wait, there is one person who submitted their place campaign late. It's you guys probably already know. It's Hope Solo. I'm not gonna talk about Hope Solo because if my dude Paul here has 1% chance of winning, Hope Solo's got the same or 0.5%. I don't see Hope Solo being a qualified candidate. I mean, I know she has the sporting side aspect of it, like in terms of playing, obviously, and she's also on the women's side of it. So people want change. They want to elect the woman. If you're gonna elect the woman, don't elect Hope Solo. Elect Kathy Carter. She's way more qualified. That's my whole spiel on Hope Solo. She was my crush when I was like 20 years old, 19 years old, and I'm 25 now. So she's old news. Sorry, Hope Solo. I still love you though. All right, well there you have it, guys. That's every candidate who is trying to be the president of the U.S. Soccer Federation. Who do you guys think should be it? Who do you guys think should be the president of the U.S. Soccer Federation? Who do you guys think should not be the U.S. Soccer Federation? And are you guys happy that Sunil Gulati dropped out of the race? Answer those 3 questions down below. We'll have a chat. Oh, I'll let you guys know what I think. I think if I had to pick, I'd pick between maybe Eric Ronaldo. I'll follow the popular vote. I'll go to Eric Ronaldo because I think he has good experience in terms of the soccer aspect of it. I know his business really isn't the best, but I feel like there's some people maybe he could hire or that would help him with the business side of it, because I think he knows what he wants and he does want change. And if we pick Eric Ronaldo, it is a big change, and that's growth. That's moving forward to pick someone like Eric Ronaldo. So Eric Ronaldo would have my vote, but if he doesn't get it, I wouldn't be upset if Kathy Carter got it. Because if we're gonna if you want to change and have a woman in charge, definitely pick Kathy Carter. Please don't pick Hope Solo, because just don't. It's Kathy Carter is qualified. She knows the business aspect of it. She's played a couple. She has some. What was I gonna say? She has some playing aspect of it. Sorry, guys, but yeah, Kathy Carter, Eric Ronaldo, those 2 are my votes. If they don't get it, it's fine. Anyone who really wants to make a change in this team in this country has my vote. So what do you guys think? Who do you guys think should... Wait, did I ask you guys that already? I did, right? Anyway, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'll see you guys next time when I'm more sober. Bye!